So we've officially reached the peak of wherever we are in the NBA offseason, because I'm talking about Frank Ntilikina. Knicks fans have many opinions on the guy, ranging from he's good and hasn't gotten the opportunity to he's terrible. And I'm going to be honest, I'm a little closer to the terrible while also acknowledging the dude hasn't really gotten a chance. Like, Fizdale has not played him consistently. Like, you look at his minutes last year, his games played, he'd play 10 minutes one game, 25 the next, then he wouldn't play for like 3 games in a row, right? So it's just tough for that kind of a guy who is not a naturally gifted offensive player, at least at an NBA level, to get better in that sort of an environment, right? Well, now we look at what the Knicks did in free agency. They signed a whole bunch of actual NBA players. So I don't know what the hell happens with Frank now. I mean, you got Elfrid Payton, who's probably your starting point guard. If not, it's Dennis Smith. RJ Barrett's going to be the primary ball handler of this team, unless Dennis steals the ball from him, which is very possible. You still got Kevin Knox, Trier's here. You signed Reggie Bullock. You signed Wayne Ellington. You still got Dotson, who's kind of good right now. He's not one of those young dudes you got to wait on, even if his box score numbers are nothing special. And the reason I'm bringing up point guards and twos is because I think there was a conversation about Frank maybe being a wing player, right? Because, okay, maybe this isn't a dude who we can rely on to create offense, but if he can just make threes, we know he's a good defender. That's the one NBA thing he does. So maybe he can just be a 3-and-D guy who can, get a little better with his ball handling as his career goes on. But now, I don't even know how Ntilikina gets in there. The roster's pretty set. Granted, it's not a very good roster, but it's pretty established. So, I mean, if you can see the roadmap for Ntilikina playing, I'd love to hear it, because I definitely can't see it. So, what does that mean? Does that mean Ntilikina's just done in the NBA? Well, there's a chance that Frank... There's not a chance. This was definitely a thing. Frank was not ready for the NBA. The dude should have either played overseas until he was like at least 21 or 22, or he should have gone to college for like 3 or 4 years. Okay. Too skinny, not skilled enough. It is what it is. Does that mean his career is totally done? No. I mean, PJ Tucker was kind of bad when he showed up at whatever time, and now he's like one of the most pivotal role players in the league. And of course, he played overseas for like 4 years after his rookie season or whatever. Obviously, different positions, different expectations, but I think the same thing can happen, especially because I feel like Frank can have the same sort of transformation as PJ, where it's like, just going to focus on defense and three-point shooting, that's it. I think how he plays in the rest of the FIBA tournament is going to be interesting. His first game against Germany, he was 2 for 2 from outside. As far as his defense, no clue. He was a -16, which might mean something, it might mean nothing at all. And I think this tournament is kind of his one chance to show what he's got, because again, like, the Knicks have seen him for 2 years, and clearly they don't love what they have. So, I don't know. It might just be a showcase for other teams. But, there's also a chance that Ntilikina is like the guard version of Stanley Johnson, where you keep saying to yourself, maybe this is the year where his offense can finally not be the worst in the league. And then it just never happens. Or if it's going to, it's not until he's like 26 or something. Now, is there a chance Frank can be a Marcus Smart for a team, or a Tony Allen or something? Or an Andre Robertson? I mean, yeah. That's why I feel like some team is at least going to consider taking the dude on. I don't know anything about his work ethic. I don't know if he works hard. I don't know if he's kind of lazy. No clue, really. If we look at some teams who could consider taking on Ntilikina, that's an interesting thing. Should it be a team that's already kind of good and is just taking a swing, or should it be a team that's bad who, I mean, it would still be taking a swing, but I guess it would be a little different because, the foundation might not be there already. Because there's a chance that the team that Frank needs to be on is one where it's an established culture, and there's not a whole lot of players changing year to year and that kind of thing. I don't know. I mean, who is a team that could use the template of what Ntilikina is, not knowing if he's actually going to be good or not? You know, if you want to talk about a team that's already got an established thing, like maybe Houston, he'll never have to dribble the ball. I'd like to think he can make open three-pointers. Defensively, you think he can be all right. It's an idea. That would be my example for like a good team. As far as a bad team, I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. Maybe the Hawks, because they already have a lot of shooting. And they like switchable, tall defenders. I don't know. I think you see what I'm getting at. Or maybe not. And that's cool as well. Maybe Frank's good. No, he's definitely not good. Maybe he can be good in a different situation and all that. But again, just looking at the Knicks roster and based on their treatment of him last season, don't really see it. Just don't. Just if it's going to happen, I don't think it's going to happen on this team.